All right, we're over on the top of the Dark Castle 6.0 with the sugarcane farm in the background because it's just crossed my mind that as we were talking about farms that you make because you know you're going to need a lot of stuff, like my sugarcane farm there, the vine farm that we just saw down in the ancient city, and let's not even talk about the villager breeder because I'm still trying to put off to deal with those guys. I need a lot of gunpowder to help supply the grab and go rocket shop that we saw on the tour of the spawn town. So I think to be able to show that off, what I've done, it's already built. So I actually have a creeper farm up in the sky right through this hole and about 200 blocks in the air. Part of the reason for that is to maximize the spawning mechanics, so I don't have to worry about having things interrupt the mob cap, especially at nighttime, that may spawn on the ground level. So it's only creepers that are spawning up there. I used to use a cat design, and you know, cats are fun to deal with down on the surface, but to try to deal with some cats up in the air, whole nother story. Just almost as frustrating as moving villagers underground. So what I've done is found a design done by Waddles, really cool YouTuber. I'll link his channel in the description. But it's based on snow golems who throw their snowballs at creepers who spawn and they get knocked into the pit, where you can then, you know, use a looting 3 sword and collect their gunpowder in the maximum amount of quantities. So what I've chosen to do, I wanted to actually add another layer on top of the one that I previously built, and I've done that. So we're going to be able to show that in the form of a time lapse. So as I fly up, we're going to see it. There it is. It just sits above the sky. And I've used this, you know, this dark and copper color palette. We're gonna fly away. Not too bad looking, huh? So as I get to the top, like I said, this is already built, and we're going to show the time lapse. Enjoy. All right, now that we've added that top layer to the creeper farm, I wanted to just take a quick break and head back to the Dark Castle 6.0 and show how this system works. I realized I didn't show that last time, so I definitely want to explain how the collection system works. So you can always just run around and, you know, obviously put things into chests by your hands. But I haven't labeled it yet. I really should label this, but this is an input chest, and there's redstone behind there. So I'm going to use, as an example, I've come over to the sugarcane farm, and I'm going to grab as much of the sugarcane as I can carry, and we're going to bring it over to the input chest. And then all you really do is you drop it in the input chest, and it will make its way around the system through use of an item elevator, and I will show you how that works right now. So I open the chest, and I put the sugarcane in. Whoop, don't put the crafting table in there. Put the sugarcane in, and it starts to filter its way through. And as it filters its way through, let's go behind the scenes and check out the redstone. So it's going to be very hard to see because it is a little cramped back here, but, and when we see the redstone firing on and off, and that is because this is a dropper elevator system that involves a 4-block row where there are observers that send the redstone signal through blocks, and with all the redstone magic involved here, basically, very simply, brings those items that are being fed into the bottom through a hopper from that chest all the way up to the top. And directly above me, we're going to go up the scaffolding to check it out, there are a series of hoppers in a line. So right up top here, this goes to that top hopper, and then it starts to follow this hopper chain all the way across. And look at this circuitry right up top. This actually is a very standard item sorter. It's the old 41 plus filter item. I call it a filter stick. I rename it so just in case any sticks gets in there, they don't clog the system. Very, very old, long-standing, and extremely functional filter. But as the items go across the top, we still see these sugarcane filtering their way through right now. It skips over until it finds the matching sugarcane, which, if I remember right, is right here. Look, so we can see it in action. So now every time one hits, it gets filtered and passed down through the system, and as it gets passed down through the system, it goes into the chest below. So as the items continue their way, they go all throughout and snake up and down throughout all of the different storage filters. And if they don't match all of the filters throughout the storage system, they wind their way down to this lower level. You can see that they're facing this direction. They hit these last one, and the last one is a gilded blackstone. If that one doesn't filter out and then it continues on, it hits the stackable chest system, which is really just a very, very, very large overflow. Because I don't have redstone at the end, I left plenty of room for overflow, but we can see items that I don't have storage for here, and they just accumulate when I can come behind the scenes and get them. We're talking, at one point I thought rotten flesh was one of the items, that's why there's so much here, but you can see some other things that don't have their own assignments and make their way down here. While we're down here, one last thing that I can show, if I head out the back, I still have this little opening, is a slime chunk. Yeah, so I found that there was a slime chunk while we were building the Dark Castle, and the slimes would come out, and when I heard them squishing around, I would come out here with my sword and smack them up and get myself some slime blocks, or at least, yeah, slime balls that I can make slime blocks with. And then I thought, wait, we can just set up an iron golem out here, because iron golems will attract slimes when they spawn. Mechanics are that if you're far enough away but still close enough that they'll spawn into existence within the chunk, and then they'll walk up to the iron golem, and then when the iron golem sees them, he doesn't like them and they don't like him, and they'll attack each other. The iron golem will win way more than any slime would, and then he destroys all the slimes, and then the slime balls just kind of sit on the floor. And underneath this tuff, I use tuff even though it's not the most attractive floor block in the world. I use it just to outline where this rail cart is going underneath, which it's picking them up. Oh, we just saw it in action right there. It didn't have anything to drop off. But as you can see, there's been slime balls and evidence of some monsters, including definitely an Enderman, or two perhaps, or 3 or 4 that have been met their demise by attempting to take on our iron golem. I've also noticed that the iron golem doesn't have a name, so if there's anyone who wants to suggest a name, please feel free to do so, and I'll add it in a future episode. Those are 2 things that are in the Dark Castle. Wanted to go behind the scenes since the original tour and kind of show that off. And from there, I think what we'll do next is go up in the sky, right through there, and then see how the rates are. We'll test out the added addition to the creeper farm. All right, now that we have that extra level on top of the creeper farm, the rates were pretty good to begin with, but I'm sure they've increased just a little. They're already kind of dancing around in there. We're going to go ahead and swipe them out. Wow, that is pretty good. Look at this. Come on. Whoa, he's trying to get away. Look at him hop. I've never seen a creeper hop like that. Get back here. He's okay. You know, have it your way. There we go. So yeah, and we collect the gunpowder. And we can take it back with us. So I have a shulker box. We're going to collect, you know, a little bit. We'll just take it all. We'll take as much as we can carry anyway, one shot. And put it in the shulker box. Bang, bang, bang. And let's go replace the rockets at the rocket shop. So I think that's where we're going to end things for this episode. And now that we've kind of gotten into the swing of looking for places to do some skull clearing and do additional restoration to the ancient city, we'll do that. We'll probably find another opportunity for a time lapse along the way and maybe go back to one of the other locations. Maybe we'll get into the river over by the squid farm, or we'll go back to the guardian farm and build those towers up around the perimeter. Plenty to do at different locations, and I look forward to continuing this series and bring it all right here. See you next time.